Michael Scott Hoosier. I go by my middle name, Scott. I've been in this current role as project manager for just over 2 years now. I have been with the water company for 26 years.
Awesome. And so how did you first become interested?
So my oldest brother actually was in the water business when I was 13. And so during the summers I would go and work with them at the water company. And after high school I moved away and then came back and started working in the shop here at Evoqua, which was formerly Polymetrics, and started working on the shop floor building the equipment. So I think for me, the path I have taken, the biggest thing is work ethic. So show up early, work hard, stay late. It's really been work ethic, and I believe that work ethic has allowed me to grow in the many different roles I've had with the company. Absolutely. I think being more outgoing, being able to strike up a conversation, some small talk with the customers. You don't need to know all of their personal business, but it definitely helps to have a personal connection with the people I work with, as well as my customers and suppliers. So I think being able to talk to people is a very big part of the job. Just communicating with other people, it's huge. Okay, so I guess I would say the typical starting salary for a project manager is probably in the $60,000 range. Tons of growth. There's a lot of different project sizes and complexities. So, continually striving for bigger projects, more complex projects. I see the growth potential being much faster that way, and so that's what I've been really focused on, taking on larger projects and just increasing my overall portfolio with the size of the projects that I'm taking on. I guess I'd start with the hours of the week that I work. It's quite flexible, as in I'm not punching a time clock. The challenge to that is it's long days. I start very early in the morning, and I can typically work till later in the evening, just doing whatever is necessary to get the job done. That also includes Saturdays sometimes, and sometimes Sundays. The work environment. So here at the office, we sit in this open atmosphere. So I don't have an office, I don't have a cubicle. I do have this workspace, and I have mechanical engineers, electrical engineers, other project managers sitting around me. So there's a lot of collaboration with, just overhearing conversations. So I find being in the office has a completely different dynamic than being at home for the past 18 months. And there's benefits to both, but really being in the office with other people, it's huge. Again, being able to communicate with people is a big part of my job. So staying in the office, working with people is a big thing. For the past 18 months, we've had this global pandemic, and I spent a lot of time working from home. Some people tried to work at their kitchen table. I had an office set up. I've got a very similar setup at home that I do here in the office. So I feel like I was maybe more effective at home, just due to the hours that I was able to work without having to commute and go out to lunch and things like that. The kitchen's right around the corner, so I would get some food and sit back at my desk and work at my desk during lunch. So yeah, the hours that you work, for me, I like to complete tasks. So it's not so much a work schedule as it is a task schedule. So Definitely a lot of email. And I have quite a few projects, so I get a lot of different questions, different emails for different projects of different phases of completion. Some are just starting, some are in the shop floor, some are being installed. So a lot of different phases. A lot of conference calls, both internal and external, having to discuss with my engineering team where they are in the project, looking at their schedules to make sure they're staying on task, as well as my customers. They have to be ready for the equipment to arrive. So there's a lot of scheduling discussions, both good and bad. If we're late, then that's a bad discussion. If we're early, it may not always be acceptable to deliver early. So it's very schedule oriented. Benefits. So I've learned, as I mentioned earlier, I've been with the water company for 26 years. I have had many different roles throughout the years, and every role has set me up for my next position. I don't believe there's a skill you will learn at any point in your career that doesn't somehow tie in to the next role that you may take. So the benefits of the career path that I've taken, the skills that I've learned throughout the years with every job has really benefited me greatly, allowed me to learn how to better work with people, to talk with them during tough issues that that negatively impacts projects, as well as good things that happen. So you've got to be able to talk both of those with your customer. So I guess I'd just say the benefits, every new task is a new benefit, even the hard ones. So challenges are a lot of email. Everything is done via email, and sometimes there's overload of emails and a lot of different projects going on at the same time. So you might read an email and then get an emergency for another project. And so trying to maintain all tasks at the same time can be very challenging. So I would say definitely it's compatible with family life. I have the flexibility of being able to work from home. I can take time off to, if my children have a doctor's appointment or something like that, it's pretty easy to do so. It allows me to provide for my family and be there when they need me, as well as work from home and take care of my job as well. I think my favorite part of the job is every day is different. It's always, there's similarities between every single day, but every day in the past 26 years with the water company has been different. So it's not an assembly line. It's very challenging, very diverse in the challenges that I'm experiencing from one project to the next. I expect to have larger projects, potentially teams underneath me that work in different aspects of a particular project, for example. So there's definitely a lot of growth left to be had. I would say to anybody looking to enter the career is to be outgoing, comfortable talking to people, even in uncomfortable positions, and things I wish I would have known at the coming into the career. I guess learning how to better deal with conflict management in a professional setting.